and to make everything well, we have to use the two symbols which guides us in making melodies and measures in our music. And those are the clef signs. Or the clefs assign individual notes to certain lines or spaces. So there are two clefs that are normally used in music. These are treble clef and the bass clef. So let us first discuss what a treble clef is. Hello, today we're going to be learning about staff, clefs, and the ledger lines. So what you are seeing right now is an example of a musical staff. So you can usually see this in any musical pieces or musical sheets. So these are used to guide you and to write music. Basically, the foundation of a staff are happen which are being drawn upon. So the modern staff comprises 5 lines and 4 spaces. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for the lines, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 spaces beginning here until here. Always remember every line or space on the staff represents a white key on the keyboard. So what you are seeing right now is a demonstration on how each note is being played on the demonstration piano. So to make your music organized and has its own directions and to make everything well, you have to use the two symbols which guides us in making melodies and measures in our music. And those are the clef signs. So clefs or the clefs assign individual notes to certain lines or spaces. So there are two clefs that are normally used in music. These are treble clef and the bass clef. So let us first discuss what a treble clef is. So a treble clef is also called a G clef. Why? Because the staff line which the clef wraps around or the point area here, the red dot, is locating on the line wherein the note G is located. So shown in red one, so it's known as G. So any note placed on this line becomes G. So for the lines, we have E, we have G, B, D, F, or the acronym for every good boy. That's fine. However, for the spaces, we have the letters F, A, C, and E, which is face. So the note on the space above G is A. So remember, there is no letter H after G. So because from the alphabet, we know that the letter after G is H. But when it comes to music, the letter that comes after G should be A. So it comes back with letter A. So A B C D E F G, and then we have no H note here. We go back to letter A. So the note on this page about G is A, and the note line above A is B. That's it, and the process continues. So what if uh, the G note here already reach the edge of the staff, is there a possibility that another note would be placed beyond or above the G note here? The answer for that is yes. Okay, so and that's the purpose why ledger lines are used. What is a ledger line? A ledger line is a small line that extends the staff when we run out of room for our notes. So the ledger line notes, those are basically the notes on the higher sounds. For example, in your middle C, the ledger lines are usually placed on your C5. So in this case, we have our um, letter A because it's G. So our letter A is here. So it's placed here in this part. Okay, so as you observe, as you notice, it comes with a higher sound. So for the C4, we are talking about the middle C in our musical stuff, but we'll talk about it later. Okay, so that is basically the ledger line. So now let us move on and discuss the function of the bass clef, or it is also called the F clef. So the staff line in between the two dots of the clef is F. It's not the same with the treble clef because when it comes to bass clef, we have different note for each line and also for the spaces of the staff in your bass clef. So uh, the line here is F, or let us start first with the lines of the bass clef. So it starts with letter G, then B, it comes with B, F, then A. So we can also use the acronym for Great Big Dogs Fall Asleep or Great Big Dogs Fall Asleep. And for the spaces, we have A, C, E, and G, or All Cows Eat Grass. So you can use those acronyms that you can easily identify and remember the notes on the lines and also on the spaces. So we can now fill the rest of the stuff with the notes. So these are the notes in the lines and on the spaces of your bass clef or um, F clef. Always remember the functions of the bass clef is intended to your left hand. So because there are notes in the bass clef, meaning their sounds get lower. That's why there are bass sounds or bass notes. However, for the middle sounds, going to corresponds to your C4 and C5. So finally, let us discuss the grand staff, or it is a theoretical staff of 11 lines. Watch what happens when we eliminate the middle line here in our grand staff. So we end up with two regular staffs. So and that's basically the one that we've seen in a musical piece. So by adding a treble clef and the top staff and bass clef to the bottom staff, we can see the relationship between the two staffs. The notes here are intended for the left hand, the notes here for intended for the right hand. So we also have here notes, so that is called the middle C. So notice how the two clefs are joined by the C, note C shown in red. So this C is commonly called middle C since it corresponds to the middle staff line on the grand staff. So your middle C is located on your C4. So it's here on the C4 and decreasing decreasing the notes here, those are belong to your bass sounds. That's why they are the bass notes. But however, for the ascending notes here, it starts with C sharp. What you notice is that are the sounds are being ascended. Okay, so that's basically our topic for today about staff, clefs, and ledger lines. And I hope you find it interesting and you've learned something from this lesson. Thank you very much for listening.